What's up, guys? John back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Bluetti Elite 30 600 watt 288 watt hour battery pack. Very cool system. It's Bluetti, so obviously you can't go wrong with this thing, but will this little system power this space heater? Let's find out. So we'll go ahead and turn the AC on. So as you can tell, we got AC on now. So right now we're at 121.4 volts. This is only on the fan mode though, so it's definitely not powering the actual heating element in there. Now this is, like I said, a 600 watt inverter. It does have the capability of going up to 1500 in power lifting mode, which is Bluetti's proprietary voltage drop feature. And it's okay to run something like this, but it's not okay if you got complex electronics or anything with a compressor in there. You do not want to use that actual voltage dropping feature. So well, let's go ahead and see what happens if I crank it onto the first setting. So we're going to go ahead and turn that on to level 1. And you can see the output 500, 600, 663. Notice how the voltage, though, is staying right at that 120. And this is probably going to overload it here soon. So we're at 835 watts. So there you go. Overloaded it. Not surprised, definitely not surprised. This is a 1500 watt space heater. The lowest setting, I believe, is 850. So not shocked that a 600 watt, inverter couldn't run that. But this is kind of how I wanted to make this video, because, it's a good unit. It's very powerful for the size, the features and everything, but it's not meant to run appliances like this. And you wouldn't want to do it anyways, because even if it could run that, you would get maybe 20-30 minutes at the most of runtime out of this unit, and that's honestly not worth it. That's not even enough to warm up a room for 10-20 minutes or whatever it is. So these are meant mainly for USB devices, 12 volt, as you can tell right here, 12 volt 10 amp. These are nice to power like a DC fridge. You're not going to power your full-size fridge in your house, but a DC fridge, you could definitely power off this unit, and you could get many hours off of it too. If you wanted to run a 12-volt fan, or if you wanted to run a fan through the AC inverter, it's definitely meant for that. This could power a 65-inch TV, because I own a 65-inch TV, and it powers it for typically about 3 to 4 hours if I have all the settings on really low. If I leave it on the full blast settings, it will only run it for maybe an hour and a half. But I'm going to go ahead and get this unplugged real quick. So as you could tell, very nice unit. Bluetti never disappoints when it comes to that. This is their newer style screen. Shows input, output watts, time remaining, percentage in the center. If you got any specific settings set on here, it will show up as icons like it does in the center of that. I got this set up right now to only charge to 90% capacity, not to 100%, and that's what that icon means. Clearly it has Wi-Fi, as you can tell by that logo right there. And then, of course, you got your USBs, so 140 watt, which I got some, I'm going to tell you about that in a few minutes. USB A15s, 2 of those, and then you got your 100 watt USB-C. A nice setup overall. I mean, it's got your 12 volt, 8 amp barrel ports, which is nice, because if you wanted to run like your router or Wi-Fi system, you could definitely run that off that. And then, of course, you got your DC input right here, 12 to 28 volts, 10 amps, 200 watts max. The watts are pretty good. I mean, 200 watts will definitely get this thing charged up in 2.5 hours, and it's a little low on the voltage side, though. If you compare this to the EcoFlow, it's actually 55 volts, so it's a lot more than this. And just an overall side by side. So you got your cooling fan on this side. You got your carry handle up here, which is nice. Very nice and compact. I mean, this thing only weighs like 9 pounds. If you want to see this chart right here, pause the screen, give you all the specifications on here. 288 watt hour battery pack, 16 volt, 18 amp hours, 600 watt AC total output, AC and DC output. Look at that though. So it's a 600 watt max. It's not adding the 600 watts from its AC plus 350 watts for its DC output. It's saying AC and DC is 600 watts max. So that's kind of disappointing. You would want that to say, 600 watts plus 350 for 800 watts total output, but it definitely does not say that. So, and once again, this is the Elite 30 V2. So this is the back of the unit. Like I said, nice carry handle. This is the other side right here. So you got your regular charger input, which is nice. So it's got built-in charger in the unit right there. But yeah, and of course it does have the app, which I can take a screenshot of that and show you how the app works. It's pretty much the same Bluetti app that they've had for the last 5 years now. It's got minor upgrades, but everything's pretty much identical. But yeah, this unit right here, it's a good starting unit. If you need something for just like, you know, a little bit of power, but also have a little bit of inverter power, this is definitely a good unit for that. It's not a bad price. You can get these all day long for about $230 to $250. And then it's a good starting point, you know. Once you get something like this, you can get something a little bit bigger, then eventually get something a little bit bigger than that. And then eventually you'll have, you know, 1,000 watt hour, 2 kilowatt battery pack, you know, power stations. This is just a good starting point. It's good for camping. It's good for taking on the road with you. And if you do end up needing 500 watts of power, this can do it. You know, it's not going to last for long, like I said, but this can definitely do it. Is it going to run one of these? No. But would it run a 500 watt space heater? Yeah, it will. So it's a good unit overall. Like I said, for 9 pounds, under 10 pounds, very nice hard shell case. Bluetti makes very nice products, and this is something that is just nothing less than what they do. You know, it's really nice. And if you're looking into a 600 watt, you know, inverter power station with under 300 watt hours, the Bluetti Elite 30 is the way to go, in my opinion. So, but that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.